What is up, you guys? Today I want to talk about ENS names, or Ethereum Name Service names. And if you've been on crypto Twitter and you've been looking at things like my profile, for example, you might see people posting things like thatguyintech.eth. And that's an example of an ENS name. And there might be others like, I follow this guy who is a developer advocate in the Web3 space, and he has an ENS name, natterdabit.eth. And then I know a fellow Cal Bear, Go Bears, Christy Huang. She helps out with She256, which is an awesome organization also in the crypto space. So she also has an ENS name. So you might be asking, okay, I've been seeing all these ENS names pop around. What are they? Well, first of all, it's kind of a cool way to just signal you're part of the Ethereum culture and you are doing Web3 things. But the other thing that's more useful is that it's an easy way to track your Ethereum address without having to remember that super long string. So for example, if I go to rainbow.me/thatguyintech, then you can actually see this maps to my Ethereum address. And if I copy this, then this is actually the full address, which is really hard to remember because it's just a long string of random numbers and letters. But thatguyintech.eth is super easy to remember, and you can use a service like Rainbow to look up all the NFTs that I have. And you can also go on Etherscan, for example. So if we go to etherscan.io and we go thatguyintech.eth, then it resolves to my Ethereum address that I've set up. And you can see like my assets and my transactions on Etherscan, which is pretty cool. So what are some other things that you can do with this? You can send assets via MetaMask. So for example, if I wanted to send some Ether to Christy Huang, then instead of remembering what her address was, I could just say christyhuang.eth. And you can see that MetaMask will actually look up the address of that recipient. And if you want to be absolutely sure, you can kind of confirm whether or not this is the right address, but I'm pretty sure. So I can then just, send some ETH, and that transaction will get to the right address. So that's pretty cool. Another thing you can do is on OpenSea, instead of transferring Ether like I was on MetaMask, I can transfer one of my NFTs. So this NFT is a fun one. There's this guy who draws natural numbers and mints them as NFTs, and I received one lately. I can click on this transfer button and I can put in natterdabit.eth, and this resolves to his address once again, and I can hit transfer and it'll transfer. So that's pretty cool. It's the same kind of concept as going to google.com, where you don't have to remember the super long IP address for the Google website. You just remember the name. ENS is just like DNS, but for the new crypto world. So the question is, how do you get one yourself? And basically we can just go to ens.domains. It should take you to a website that looks like this. It says decentralized naming for wallets, websites, and more, which is pretty cool. And then you just launch app. It'll take you into this bar where you can search for names and addresses. So I'm actually going to go through and buy a name right now just to show you the full process of buying it and setting it up. I'm currently working on a project called Chibi Shinobis. So I'm going to type in Chibi Shinobis. We'll see if that's available. That is available, which is great. And I'm going to click on this, and we're just going to register it. So you can see here that in the user interface, it allows you to select how many years you want to register it for. And you can increase the registration period to avoid paying gas every year. So, you don't have to worry about this too much. You can just go ahead and register it. But if you want to have it, you're going to be using this name for a while, then you can register it for more. So let's say I want to register it for 4 years. It doesn't really cost that much more compared to 1 year is $5. So I'm just going to register it for 4 years. And there's 2 transactions that you're going to have to go through. So first you have to request to register. And right here, you just pay the gas fee. So I'm going to confirm that. And we're going to wait a little bit for this to complete. So let's just go ahead and wait. All right, so you can see the bar is slowly filling up. And so now you can see we're available to get to step 3, complete registration. So you just click this register button, and now we just pay that second fee. So a total of $43. Confirm this, and then that completes the registration. So we just have to wait for this transaction to go through on the blockchain, and then that will mean that we now own the Chibi Shinobis.eth ENS name. So that's pretty cool. And let's wait for this to go through. All right, great. So we completed the registration. You can see the bars all the way green. And next thing we have to do is set reverse record. And this is important because that way you can make sure that your address is mapped to the ENS name. So we're going to select chibishinobis.eth. So I've already set up thatguyintech.eth as we saw earlier. I'm going to also set up chibishinobis.eth. So we click save, and then we just have to pay this quick fee to get the transaction mapped on the blockchain. And then we wait a little bit, and then once it's done, we should be able to check on Etherscan that chibishinobis.eth maps to 0xF5FFF. So let's wait for that. And it looks like that's done. So we can view on Etherscan, and you can see chibishinobis.eth maps to 0xF5FFF. So this is super great, and now you're done. So if you follow these steps, you're gonna have your own ENS name, and you can start telling people your ENS name instead of your long Ethereum address, which is pretty cool. So let me know if that was helpful. I'm gonna be making more tips about crypto, NFTs. So if you like this, let me know what I should make a video about next, and give me a like, give me a follow, and I'll see you next time. Bye.